Esme, since you read the scroll, you realize that part of the casting of the spell is that she has to ritually throw herself on this sundial.
She has to actually do this, because she has already done it, so it has to happen. But if I save her and drag her out of the house during a reset period, then it can both be done and not done, and maybe it will break the spell, I guess.
The midnight hour approaches. She flings herself onto the sundial. The talon bursts through her back as she plunges on it, and she gasps one last time, "I'll see you soon, Penny." You see your severed arm lift up off the ground and come flying towards you. You reach out to try to catch it, and it evades your grasp and slams into your forearm, and you feel it slowly reattaching itself as time flows backwards. You feel some resistance, but then there's a ripple and you're able to pull her out. So it's been a couple of months since the last incident. We'll say it is now middle of January of the current year. It is a Tuesday morning. What do you normally do at Tuesday at 10 o'clock?
Well, Cindy goes to work, I assume.
Yeah, so what are you doing at work this particular day at this particular time?
January, so we've been haven't been road testing anything in a while. So at this point I might be, sitting down with an engineer and looking over some of the sensor data to see, what are some anomalies that we might be able to correct for, maybe looking at some simulated performance for the self-driving vehicles. Maybe we load the program onto a robotic car and let it drive around the virtual city, see what types of issues it's still having.
Okay, so you're doing all of this with Frank then?
Yeah, let's say with Frank.
Yeah, things have been a little, rough between you two over the past couple of months. He's a little sore on his last evaluation that he had. He got a little black mark on it. So, and somehow, he just feels that you and him, things are just a little tense between you two at work, but you're still able to get along all right. Okay, well, what about you, Esme? What are you doing? 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning.
I am either at work doing doctory things, or if I am not on that day, then I will be hitting the gym where I don't actually exercise, I just go to the juice bar.
Sure, so which one of those things are you actually doing?
Today I'm at the juice bar, why not?
You're at the juice bar. Okay. Is anyone with you, or are you just here by yourself, or?
There is not a single soul in this gymnasium. The lights are off and it is abandoned. There's dust covering every surface. No one has been here in years.
Do you have your husband with you? Do you have your friend here with you, or
no?
Did you just go work out by yourself?
I'm just working out by myself. It's me time.
But she just said she's not working out.
I tell people I'm working out.
At the gym, at the juice bar.
At a juice bar that, if I heard her right, she said no one's been at for years. So that juice must be pretty rank.
It's wine.
It's no longer
at this
juice
point.
bar. It's now. Okay.
No, there are other people at this gym, and probably, the people working at the juice bar, and there may be a few other people drinking their terrifying green sludge as well, but no one I know is here.
Okay.
You wouldn't associate with these people.
I really wouldn't.
Okay,
Except via text message.
So, Cindy, you and Frank are going over the data that your computer simulation has started compiling for you. And as you're in the middle of talking to Frank about some anomalous data point, you just start screaming. And Frank just looks at you, taken aback, and he's like, Cindy, what's wrong? He looks really scared, and you're just screaming, and then you just stop. Esme, you are at the juice bar here in this gym, and as you're lifting up your kale and berry smoothie, you just start it splutters out and hits one of your fellow people sitting here at the juice bar with you, as you're just like suddenly screaming, like your eyes are wide and you can't let go of this glass. You're just gripping it so tight that it starts cracking as you scream, and everyone's just like looking at you shocked, and then you just stop. Both of you make sand checks.
Were we in pain, or was it just random screaming?
John got an 11 out of 44.
And that's
Esme
a very
got
bad.
a 95 of 56. So Cindy loses 1 sanity. Esme, you lose a d6. So whatever caused this terror that seized you both is swiftly fading from your memory like a nightmare. So Cindy, you have Frank acting really concerned about you. What do you do?
So I realized I was screaming, but I don't know why I was screaming.
Yeah, you don't remember what caused you to start screaming. You could try it to remember if you wanted, but it feels like that would be a bad idea.
That was so. This is as Cindy. That was weird.
So, what happened? Are you okay?
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm good. I don't know.
Okay, make a charisma test.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I passed that, 24 against a 50.
Okay, so he's like, do you need a moment, or like it seems like he's concerned about you, but he's not like.
No, I just I just realized I didn't get my dry cleaning last night. They close early on Tuesdays, so I'm gonna have to wait until Thursday because I've got Zumba. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. You know what? Let me go get a glass of water. So then I leave him for a minute to sort of try and put myself back together.
All right. Make a persuade test as well.
What's the charisma for then?
The charisma was to make sure that
He doesn't have you
keeping
committed.
it together with Frank.
Well, my persuasion's not very good, Jeremy.
Okay. Well, think of it as a way to maybe improve your persuade if you don't.
I fail that. I roll a
Okay.
71 against a 21.
So give yourself a check mark. Like Frank laughs a little bit, but he still looks pretty concerned and a little miffed that you just lied to him about whatever had just happened. Okay, Esme, what are you doing?
I'm going to take a few seconds and make sure that I'm not, dying at the moment. And take some deep breaths.
One of the trainers runs up to you and puts his hand near you and says, "Are you okay? Do you need me to call an ambulance?"
No, on the ambulance. Thank you. It's you know what it is. It's my sciatica. I stepped wrong. I am gonna go to the doctor, but I don't need an ambulance. I'm just going to call an Uber, if you will. Please excuse me.
Yeah, you're able to extract yourself from that situation. What are you gonna do now?
Leave. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to lie down in a dark room. I just lost a sanity point. I am not okay.
Yeah, no, you're not. You, about an hour later, you're both shaking the lingering thoughts of this. Oh, did either of you want to try to pursue trying to remember what happened there, or do you just want to let that go into the vault?
That's in the vault. That is locked away.
What about you, Cindy?
I think she'd want to know.
Okay.
But what would I have to roll for that?
You don't have to roll for that.
You're gonna have to roll for the result, for what it does to you.
You walk away from Frank and you go into the bathroom to try and catch your breath and calm yourself down. And as you're standing there staring into the mirror, just trying to zone out, you recall a bone-jarring sound, pulsing thunder that shook you all the way down to your very molecules. Go ahead and make another sanity check.
I'm so
Nice.
good.
There you go.
I roll a
All right.
3 against a 43.
Yeah, you just kind of shake it off and think of it as some half vague weird memory. But about an hour later,
Hold on, just a second.
yeah,
So when I tried to remember what caused me to scream, I remembered a bone crunching sound.
No, like a bone jarring sound.
Bone-
Like kind of like you were at a concert and the volume was turned up so loud that it shattered you down to your very atoms.
You know how that happens.
That is the feeling of the memory that caused you to scream like this. So that happened about 11 o'clock. About an hour later, you both get a message on your burner phones. For Cindy, it looks just like a call from a loan company trying to sell you on even, better ridiculous interest rate for restructuring your credit. And for Cindy, it's just a text message, a string of meaningless numbers. Except there is a meaning in what you both see there. It's communicating to both of you the time and place of a meeting at 3 o'clock Central Time in a downtown Chicago office building today.
3 o'clock today.
3 o'clock today.
Okay. Well,
so you have 4 hours because of time change.
Pretty impossible to get there because, they're not even taking into account rush hour, I feel. Because, take me at least an hour to get to the airport and maybe get on a plane. That flight's an hour. I've done it a billion times. And it takes at least an hour to get from O'Hare to anywhere in the loop. Yeah, there's not a lot of wiggle room here for me, and even less for Esme.
So what do you do?
I feel that I've got a good excuse to get out of this day at work. So I guess I'll try and make it.
All right. What about you, Esme?
Hang on, I'm Googling.
It takes about a 2-hour flight from Charlotte to Chicago.
Okay, sure, I guess. I'm going to text my husband and let him know that I think I'm having a nervous
From the other
breakdown.
room?
Yes.
2 o'clock flight, that would have to be the one I'd have to take, I guess. No, but that doesn't get me there in time. That gets me there with 15 minutes to spare.
So we're not gonna go by actual,
Jeremy, if we're talking about real places and you're giving us real time limits here, I gotta see if it's practical to actually get there.
Remember, this is on a Tuesday and this is Friday.
Yeah.
So the flight schedules are different.
Yeah, you don't think I know that? I'm looking at Tuesday. Looking at this upcoming Tuesday. What do we got here? Yeah, I'll have to catch this 11. What time did you say it was? 11?
It is noon o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah, I physically can't get there by 3.
You can get there by 3 o'clock.
I can't though, Jeremy. In this magical tapestry of a world that you've created, I can't actually get there. So
you could, but you're gonna have to charter a plane.
Yeah, because I could get to Midway by 2:25. What if I hijacked a plane? Would that be better?
Would it be better?
This was a joke. Haha. I don't know. Maybe I'll just pretend, like Jeremy suggested, that time is meaningless and I can get there.
What's your official occupation, Cindy?
Mine?
Yeah. You've got that you're a scientist.
Yep, data scientist.
Okay, so you're probably not in a particularly wealthy. Paying for the unusual expense of having to charter your own plane is going to reduce one of your non-Delta Green bonds by 1.
Okay. Can you explain to me how that makes, what the mechanism for that is?
You're spending more money than you have, and it's affecting your relationships with this person that you're losing a bond.
Well, definitely
with.
The barman, Chris. He's going to be disappointed because I'm not going to go to the bar for a month. I've been trying to lose bonds with this guy for the whole game.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to reduce that bond by 1?
Yep.
Okay, done.
Esme, it sounds like your plane schedule is a little bit more lenient. You don't have to charter your own plane, but you do have to make a int times 5 or accounting test, your choice, to see if your agent has enough free cash or credit available. If you are in a wealthy occupation, which you are because you're a doctor, you can add a plus 20 bonus to the test.
Pork.
All right, so you got a plus 20 bonus to it, but that's still a failure.
It still doesn't.
So you don't have quite enough cash, so you're gonna have to.
Yeah, I am a
Pardon?
doctor, but we spend everything that we get anyways, so we don't have savings.
So you will also have to reduce one of your bonds by 1.
The one I would like to reduce is my colleague, because that has the most points in it, but I don't see... I mean, I guess I could try to bum some money off of her. I think
Or
it's
maybe
more likely...
you and her were saving up to go on a joint trip, and you just take that vacation fund.
I will do that, yes.
What was this trip going to be like, Esme?
We were going to go to Hawaii and just have this very nice, relaxing, lay on the beach, get skin cancer, drink way too much, probably destroy our livers, and maybe pick up a parasite or two. Just
that
a
all
super
sounds
relaxing
very pleasurable.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's going to happen not at all, because I'm spending it to go to Chicago, and I will never tell her why it happened.
Scrambling and scrounging up your money, you are both able to make it to Chicago. Y'all make it to Chicago, and you gather in this meeting room in this nondescript office building. There is a woman here. Y'all haven't met her before. Neither of you have ever met this woman before. So she is a middle-aged Chinese-American woman. Her name badge identifies her as Inspector Hua. She dresses very conservatively. She has a pantsuit on. When you enter, she looks up at you two and kind of like nods her head and stands up and comes over and introduces herself. Hello, I'm Inspector Hua. And you're?
Oh, I'm Cindy.
Are we using our real names?
Are we using our real names?
I don't know. Are you?
Yeah, I say Cindy.
I'm going to give Cindy a little bit of a side eye and introduce myself as Kim.
So are we meeting you? Did you send us this message?
No, I got called in as well. She looks, a little nervously and says, "So are you part of the group?"
I mean, I'm guessing we're all
part of several groups.
All part of the group. Yeah. You play Pokemon?
She gives you a toothy grin and shows you her cell phone, and she's just caught a Charizard.
You caught one. Wow. I've not really seen them too much. Well, they were doing that promotion for Detective Pikachu. Yeah, so I did catch one then. But wow, that's really cool. Can I see it?
Yeah. She is showing you her phone.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see if I can take the phone from her. No,
What?
I'm not gonna go for that. Wow, cool. I pull up Cindy's phone, and she's got a Kadabra walking along with her on the map as a buddy. It's like, yeah, because of our group, there's all kinds of psychological trauma, right? So I like to have some psychic Pokemon around to help me out, if you know what I mean.
She just kind of cocks her head to the side and says, "What?"
Okay. What's the group that you're here for?
Yeah,
I might not though.
The group.
Yeah, but I might not know. I don't know. How do we identify each other, Jeremy? I'm not sure it's come up in the past.
So you're used to referring to things as Delta Green.
Yeah.
Between you and Agent Karen and
Yeah.
Agent Kim, but like the only other people you've really interacted before that were part of Delta Green were the very reticent, or maybe recalcitrant, whichever word, agents that you met in the middle of the woods a couple of times now, who were just a barrel full of laughs.
Oh yeah, they were fun. They love to goof.
The door opens and a graying, middle-aged and limping woman walks in, and she looks at the three of you and says, "Thank you, agents, for coming on such short notice. I'm Eve Carpenter. Please sit down. We don't have very much time, and we have a lot to go over. You have also never met this woman before. Agent Christopher, Agent Kim, Inspector Hua, thank you for coming. You will be going to the Olympian Holobeam Array. It's a new high-tech physics lab in the suburbs, not very far from Fermilab, run by a handful of academics from MIT and the University of Chicago. It's funded by the U.S. Department of Energy's Office of Science, and she kind of nods at Inspector Hua there, and you both notice that on her badge it says, Department of Energy, DOE on there. It's also funded by a private consortium of donors and venture capital firms, most notably Olympian Advances Incorporated. And let me share some things with you guys.
What's the name of the lady we're talking to right now?
Her name's Eve Carpenter, is what she introduced herself to you as. She is also conservatively dressed in a dark pantsuit.
So for those of you at home, let me say the Holobeam organization's got a couple of layers here in the org chart, and none of which have this lady on it. Eve, I think her name was. So we got a director with 3 departments: research, engineering, and support. And research and engineering both have 2 people. Support has a couple of sub-departments, including IT, security, and janitorial. And there's people's names under there, but
you can go ahead and read them.
We've got the director, which is Jamie Campbell, PhD. Research, we've got another couple of PhDs, Helen Klinger, Philip Black. Engineering, we've got 1 PhD, Ishi Takagawa, and another person who does not appear to have a PhD, Evan Kozik. And then under support, we've got 1 person under IT, Jingfei Tsang, and security, we've got Henry Gonzalez, Karen Henson, Joe Sherry, Herbert Pimlet, and under janitor, we have Maria Suarez. And this is the Olympian Holobeam Array, which is underneath in the org chart here, Olympian Advances Incorporated, DOE, Department of Energy, DOD, Department of Defense, et al. Now, et al. Means and the rest. Of course, I don't know what and the rest is.
Eve Carpenter, after passing this little file folder to you guys, says that the Array's website says it's built to study the theory that space itself is a sort of 3-dimensional hologram cast on a 2-dimensional surface.
Okay, and senators approved that?
Yes. So the program has determined that the Array secretly uses technology derived from Air Force research programs defunded years ago. The Air Force projects were too dangerous to continue and were terminated, but during that process, certain elements were reclassified, privatized, and sold to some of the same donors who sponsor the Array. We have an interest in that technology. At 10 o'clock today, the Array went online for the first time. The history of the Array's technology and certain other anomalies indicate an incursion of unnatural forces at the Olympian Holobeam Array. I need you to go to the Array, isolate it by shutting down its communications from the outside world, including cell phones, and stop the incursion.
So Cindy and Esme did not have a time to talk before coming here. Would that be right?
That would be correct.
I sort of perk up and look over at Esme when she mentioned 10 o'clock. Esme, would you give me any signal back? Although I guess we didn't get the feeling until 11, right?
So this would have been, it came online at 10 o'clock Central Time, and y'all experienced that at 11 o'clock Eastern Time.
So I look over at Esme when that is mentioned. Esme, do you shoot me any shots with your eyeballs?
I probably glance over at you, yeah.
I nod.
I also nod.
All right. Okay. Cool. Now we've communicated everything we need. We need to stop this thing? What makes you think that it needs to be stopped?
The direction from higher up is that because of the history of the technology and certain other anomalies, there's an indication that there's an incursion of unnatural forces.
And just as a follow-up, what in the world makes you think that we are going to be able to do this? I mean, I'll give it a shot.
My direction was to get with you guys. Okay. Y'all were the agents tasked with this.
So all of the better qualified agents are dead. Cool. That's fun to know.
So what support are we gonna get from you or from DG?
She just kind of looks at you and says, the program has given you clearance under the cover of an inspection team from the Department of Energy, tasked with reviewing the site and its records for wrongdoing. There may be specific documents or pieces of technology in the facility that the clearance does not cover. You will have to make do. And she passes both of you two packet with some fake credentials in it. Tabitha, what is Esme's new name under this?
Tanya Jones.
Go ahead and update your sheet. And this is all DOE. So this is Tanya Jones of the DOE. And who do you have, Cindy?
Louise Stevenson.
Louise Stevenson of the DOE. Alright, so as you're looking at your new credentials, she says, these were constructed in a hurry and won't stand up to sustained investigation. The program has pulled strings in the DOE to classify this investigation as Operation Observer Effect, so that no real DOE agent can come near it without risking prison, let alone police or private citizens. Only you three. If there is an emergency at the site that attracts first responders, there's no telling whether or not they will obey that restriction. We also have an unmarked DOE issued sedan and an unmarked DOE issued cargo van. No matter what you take, I would definitely take a look inside the car trunk. And she gives... both of you roll a D100.
So I rolled a 21, Tabitha rolled an 8, and Jeremy rolled an 84.
Right. So Esme, she gives you a burner phone. And
but I already have one of these.
She gives this to you, and she says you can use this to contact me if necessary. There is only one phone number programmed into it. Destroy this phone games after the operation, she says.
Can I play Fortnite on this?
No.
What about pizza? Can we? I skipped lunch. Can we get some pizza? I hear Chicago pizza is good.
I don't know if you have time for that, but we'll say that it's 3 o'clock. There could be pizza here. Maybe there is pizza sitting in the room for you. Inspector Hua brought pizza with her.
Thanks.
Pizza time. It is. Oh god damn. Okay. The sauce is tzatziki. The crust is a wood-fired Neapolitan crust.
Good.
The toppings are ricotta, feta, red peppers, roasted mushrooms, sauerkraut, pepperoncini, salmon, and crab.
So you had me to begin with, and then salmon and crab, not so sure. But tzatziki with all that other stuff could be okay.
If you eat this pizza, you're an old soul with an appreciation for the craft of making things. Others often use you to improve their lives in a refreshing and healthy way. But you're also twice baked, scattered, fresh, opportunistic, nasty, full of spice and vinegar, a health nut, and often cranky.
It has sauerkraut on it.
So are we to see the inspector as having these characteristics?
Let's see what the second pizza she brought is.
Oh, it's Christ on a cracker.
It's a gluten-free crust with red sauce, feta, parmesan, cilantro, cashews, and salmon.
Oh no!
Why cashews and salmon?
If you eat this pizza, you're some sort of left-wing liberal nutjob hippie. You have a one-track mind, but you are also scattered, gritty, the star of the show, frequently chosen over others, and a health nut.
Okay.
All right.
Why are there cash? Is it just like a fistful of cilantro on top of it?
No, it was scattered on there and baked with it.
There are so many questions, and no answer could ever suffice.
I'm pretty sure that this pizza has never been ordered. Either of the pizzas. Not until Inspector Hua did so today, and I was so hungry that I ate several slices of both.
Do y'all have any more questions for Eve Carpenter before you set out?
So how are we supposed to get out there? We're gonna take one of these the sedan and the van, right?
Yes.
And go. Are they expecting us?
Well, you have the cover of being an inspection team for the DOE tasked with reviewing the site and its records for wrongdoing.
Okay. I don't know if I've got any other questions. What, I mean, because they just said, we think because they used old technology that it's got ghosts in it or some shit.
Yeah, the history of the technology and certain other anomalies indicate an incursion of unnatural forces.
Can you tell us about the history?
Well, the technology comes from some Air Force research programs that were defunded. But the projects were deemed to be too dangerous to continue and terminated. But during the process, certain elements were reclassified, privatized, and sold to some of the donors who sponsor the array.
Of course they were.
That technology has gained our interest.
Right. So that's what you said before, too, which...
Yes.
Is she going to tell us anything else if we ask the right question?
That's as much as I know about what the technology is.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying you didn't prepare for this session?
It could be a red herring. Or,
I mean...
Or a, what's the term? MacGuffin.
A MacGuffin.
I mean, she seems to have gotten this, from what she said, it sounds like she was not the person that, she is a middleman between you and someone.
Do we have anybody
higher
on the
up
inside?
No.
So we're going to be on our own out there. Are the people out there expendable?
Is anyone expendable?
That, your number one task is to stop the incursion, whatever that is.
And our last one is to save people.
Cindy, a word?
Hmm?
How about we don't go into this assuming we're gonna have to not save people?
Well,
let's just do our best, okay?
They're showing us this org chart, and I'm just thinking, like, which one of these people do we gotta knock out? I mean,
why is that your first thought?
If there's unnatural technology in there, then you need to try to recover it.
Well, yes, sure, but why are we going straight to how many of these people are we going to kill? Or simply allow to die?
Because that's where Cindy always goes.
I know, I'm worried. I am worried about Cindy.
I don't. This just seems like the obvious answer to several of these types of problems.
Are you seeing a therapist, Cindy? Because maybe you should.
What is this lady telling us? This lady is telling us is that these people use some like old, ancient, like ghost technology, and like they know that they're doing something bad. And
do they?
They're not going to listen to us.
Do they?
And we just have to shut them down because they're evil capitalists.
No,
that's what I hear.
Back up. I didn't hear any of that.
I heard that they are evil capitalists, they're never going to stop, and that we're going to have to rip off their heads.
Evil capitalist is an oxymoron. You're just repeating yourself.
I work in a business school. But yes, they are. They bought up this technology that's too dangerous, but they're irresponsible, so they're gonna open up a portal to hell to get free energy. By the way, that's the plot of the Doom video game from like a few years ago. Literally, they open up a portal to hell for free energy. It's fantastic.
I mean, that's kind of the plot of Death Stranding too. Only it's not energy; it's the internet.
All right. Selling me on this baby game.
Spoiler alert for anyone who still wanted to play Death Stranding.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, Jeremy, how many months is it going to take you to edit this and put it up on the internet?
I mean, this one will probably be coming out in like late February, early March, maybe.
So they've had plenty of time to play it.
There you go. As
Yeah.
long as it's still a PlayStation exclusive, though. I mean, then no one's gonna play it. Right. Okay. So I guess maybe Cindy and I or Esme and I are having this conversation, and I turn to Inspector Huo and I say, "Do you think we should plan on having to kill people?"
She just has been staring at both of you talking about this, like wide-eyed, and said, "Are you okay?"
No,
I mean, the answer is
my name
generally
is.
no. Cindy, I'm not saying we can't kill people. I'm saying that shouldn't be the first plan. That should be like plan Q.
I didn't
Okay?
say it was my first plan.
It
I'm just
is
planning
your
ahead.
first suggestion,
Like, should we pick up
though.
some body bags here? How much
Why
lighter
on-
fluid should I bring with me? You know, like
Just the
regular,
normal amount of lighter fluid.
normal questions. Well, it's going to be hard for us to get this stuff when we get out there into the suburbs, right?
How do you not
We're-
always have lighter fluid on you?
I always have some, but enough to burn up like a baby, not like several dozen people.
I'm just gonna sit with that for a moment and then roll right past it. If you pile them up and set them on fire, they will eventually catch and burn.
I don't know. I think we should test that out at some point.
I don't
'Cause
think we need to.
I
The wick
don't
effect
think-
is a well-established fact.
No.
If you get their bodies hot enough for their
The wick
fat to
effect-
melt, they will burn.
I've got some episodes of Skeptoid for you. He definitely says that the wick effect is not a real thing. Bodies don't want to burn. They're all
But then
water.
how do we make candles out of animal fat?
Because it's just the fat. It's none of the blood and water.
Okay, that's fair.
So, now that we're on this topic of conversation, do y'all have any other things that y'all want to talk to Carpenter about before she sends you on your way?
Well, is there anything that she can say besides the script that you've read twice now?
I mean, he can read it again.
I mean, there could be, if y'all ask her questions that she has answers to.
Did you like
Say
either
your
of these
right
pizzas?
words.
She has not touched the pizzas and is eyeing them skeptically.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what a good question to ask would be. Do you have anything, Esme?
Do you know the nature of these eldritch phenomena? Are we talking tentacles coming out of walls, or rivers of blood, or portals? I mean, the word anomaly just covers quite a lot.
Yeah, she looks at you and says, "I don't know." And you
Very
both
helpful,
can make
thank you.
you can both can make int checks.
I cannot roll for
I'm
shit today.
I'm very bad at human intelligence. I'm good at other regular intelligence.
Other regular
Let's see.
intelligence.
Let's see. So what's the rolls here? Click, click, click. So many clicks. We both did bad on that. Oh no, yeah, we both did bad. How about the just
I
barely
came close,
missed?
but no.
36 out of 32. I got 73 out of 11, so real bad.
Okay, and Inspector Oha did not pass as well, but everyone gets a check mark.
I do want to point out, Jeremy, that you have pronounced this inspector's name 4 different separate ways.
Pronounced it as Hua every time.
Okay, I'm gonna keep counting though.
You can check the tape.
Oh, I think one of those was Jonathan, actually.
Yeah, we do sound
Yeah.
alike, and you know, how would you be able to tell us apart, honestly?
Wow, way to be racist, Jonathan. Every Kush sounds alike.
Hey,
Oh,
I was
honey. Just because it's true doesn't mean it's racist, Jeremy.
right. So earlier today, I had like something weird happened, and my mind broke, and then I forgot what it was that made my mind break. And it was around the same time you said this place went online. So I'm assuming that there's a relationship, right?
It could be. I don't know, but
Did that happen to anybody else?
I can run it up the chain for advice.
Did
Inspector
that happen to you?
Hua has gotten like pale and a little sweaty when you say that. Actually, yeah, she's looking a little nervous, but says, yeah, that happened. Both of you should make sanity checks as well.
Why? I just remembered it. This is my third sanity check against this one incident.
No, this is a different incident. It's realizing that this happened to you and this stranger.
Well, I failed this one,
and Esme.
Jeremy.
Okay, so you lose 1 sanity.
Great. Okay. I 82 out of 43 on that.
Yeah. What about you, Esme?
Ah, son of a bitch!
60
Right.
out of 55.
Alright, so that's 1 sanity.
Yay!
Just a little roll call off. What's everyone's sanity sitting at?
42.
And your
54.
breaking point?
I'm at 48 for my breaking point.
I'm at 42, and my breaking point is 36.
So you're both 6 points away from hitting your breaking point. Good times. All right. Okay, so, as you're talking about that, Carpenter's cell phone goes off, and she looks and says, "Excuse me," and picks it up, and she listens for a moment and hangs up. Listen, there was an unexpected power surge at the array that shut down its power just a few minutes ago. I don't know how or why, but y'all should get going.
Oh.
Okay.
She goes over the standing orders with you guys as well. So, Cindy, why don't you read the standing orders off for everyone?
First priority, stop the incursion. Gather intelligence on site to ascertain the nature of the incursion and the best means of stopping it. Second priority, obscure the incursion. Minimize awareness. Prevent anyone else from being exposed to the threat or learning about the threat. Develop a plan to explain it away in a mundane manner. Third priority, obscure your own involvement. Leave no evidence behind. Do not reveal our existence under any circumstance. Fourth priority, secure advanced technology. If it's weird and doesn't violate the other priorities, bring it in. Fifth priority, save lives, as many as possible. Sixth priority, gotta catch them all.
You two and Inspector Hua go to the parking deck, and you find the DOE issued vehicles. Inside the car trunk, you find 3 service pistols. They're 40 caliber semi-automatic with 3 extra magazines each, issued with the licenses in the names of your cover identities.
I turn to Esme and say, see, I think that they are thinking we're having to kill people.
There's also 2 handheld Geiger counters.
Dibs. I grab one.
There is also a medical bag with an electronic personal dosimeter, a first aid kit, and medicines for radiation poisoning. There's potassium iodide, Prussian blue capsules, DTPA with IV bags, and nebulizer filgrastim with syringes.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab that bag.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Inspector Hua has her own bag full of goodies as well. She'll take one of the pistols, but looks at it like she has absolutely no idea what she needs to do with it.
I'm going to take that away from her, because people who do not know how to use guns are more dangerous.
She knows how to use it, but she's looking at it with, like, she really hopes she doesn't have to use it.
Okay.
So I turn to the inspector and I say, do we have you to thank for the vehicles and this equipment?
I mean, they're from the DOE. I wasn't involved in getting them together, though. This is kind of my first foray into this sort of thing, so I'm not looking. I want to get this done and go home.
To your 4 kids, right?
What? No. Well,
Cindy,
how did you know? How do you know my 4 kids?
I haven't. No. You just uploaded the character sheet, so
Yeah.
we can see those.
I'm gonna make eye contact with Cindy.
I didn't say that.
No, okay, but I do want to remind you, one of our priorities is to save as many lives as possible. Save, Cindy.
Through Jesus' power, right?
No. Save as in keep them on the living side.
Right, so then we can shoot the dead ones.
Okay, you can shoot the dead ones. How about that? You can, all of the dead people we find, you can pop around right into them.
Why did they give these to us if it wasn't to shoot something? That's all I've got to say.
Don't you remember Agent Karen's first rule of operation was always have a gun?
Who is this directed at? Esme, right? Because she's wrong?
Do y'all want the stats for these guns that you have?
I mean, we'll need them, right?
No, we won't, because you're not killing.
We might have to. We should get going. So we get on. We're going to drive through Chicago traffic, so it'll take us about 4 hours to go pretty much anywhere.
It is 4 o'clock now, and there's going to be an hour drive from Chicago to where the hollow beam array is. You're going to reach it about 5 o'clock, 1700.
The regular time that inspections happen.
So are y'all going to take both of these cars, or are you just going to take one car?
Esme, are you willing to be in a vehicle with me?
Don't we have 2 vehicles?
There is a sedan and a van.
So we need someone to drive the other one anyways, so I'm fine. I'll drive the other one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if maybe it would make sense to sort of bring both, but maybe not drive both to the facility. So we have a getaway car if we, escape the
What?
facility. I mean, there's radiation issues, obviously, right? So, like, what if...
We don't know that.
And they gave us all this radiation meds and Geiger
Okay,
counters
but
and stuff. So, like, I'm just wondering maybe if it makes sense to have a vehicle on the perimeter and then we all, drive the last couple hundred meters or whatever in one vehicle.
I'll also say that, like if you take two separate vehicles, whoever's driving couldn't be like on their laptop or on their cell phone trying to find out more about this place that you're going to.
that's true.
And if you want to take both the vehicles, Inspector Hua can drive one of them. Or if you want to take one vehicle, she can drive that one, and both of you could do research. One of the fun things about having an NPC there helping you is that you can have them do the boring things, so you can do the more exciting things.
Okay.
Research. More exciting? Okay.
Yeah, it's more
Right.
exciting than driving.
I thought the most
I mean,
exciting would
I
be
think
me
it
looking
is.
up stuff on my phone while driving.
That would meet a specific definition of exciting, but I
Yeah.
don't think we want that to happen.
I will actually allow that, but you have to make a drive check.
Jeremy, come on, don't allow that.
I mean, I knew people in college who played Pokemon regularly while driving in Birmingham traffic, so...
Jeremy, you were that person.
Like a regular Pokemon, not Pokemon Go?
Pokemon, since, like, the Game Boy Advance versions, I think, have a one-handed control scheme, so you can play the game with just one hand.
And he knows this.
Safe and secure.
So what do y'all want to do? Both?
I think maybe Jeremy seems to be pushing us into doing one
Let's just
vehicle,
take
which
one
I'm
car
fine
then, I
with.
guess.
I'm not pushing. I'm
Yeah,
saying...
it's fine, Jeremy. I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
Let's take the van in case we need to evacuate people.
Alright, so you're both going to take the van. Who wants to drive?
The
Well, apparently
NPC.
Inspector Hua, so
Okay.
that we can do
So
the
yeah,
exciting research.
Yeah, Inspector Hua will drive around. If you aren't driving, you can practice your cover identity, help the driver practice a cover identity, or go online and research the array or Olympian advances. Each effort is going to take 30 minutes, and you have an hour drive.
Okay.
Well, I think it makes sense to be like, alright, Inspector Hua. So we're supposed to be all pretending we're in the DOE, but you're actually in the DOE, right?
Yes.
So what are some things that we should do? So I think that's what I want to spend my 30 minutes on, talking to her
Okay.
about how to be a DOE person.
Yeah, taking that time, the next charisma or persuade check that relies on your false ID will have a plus 20 bonus.
Charisma
Nice.
or what?
Persuade, okay? What about you, Esme? What are you doing this time?
I am going to pop open my laptop and research a thing.
Okay, what do you want to find out about?
Maybe if I can find out anything more about exactly what this technology is, like maybe what they bought, or some announcements, or a Reddit thread on what's going on, anything. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna Google it.
Okay. Let's see. Make a bureaucracy roll.
Bureaucracy. Oh hey, I'm actually good at this. Yay, I finally succeeded.
There we go. Okay, so you find the array grounds that I just shared with you guys.
Yep, I see it.
Alright.
And I'm actually going to go ahead and take you to a map so that you can go ahead and take a look at the layout of this place. Okay.
So for those at home, there's a main building, and then on the left and on the right there's terminals, and then that's sort of the layout of the whole structure. And then on
There's a
our map here
security hut.
on D20, we've got the main building, which has main building and then a security hut on the outside. Yeah.
Okay.
So you find that the array was built 2 years ago by Olympian Advances. Not only did you find a scan of the blueprints that were registered with the county, you also find that the current research and engineering team at the array were directly involved in the facility's construction. Okay. That was the first 30 minutes of the drive. What do you want to do for the next 30 minutes?
Well, maybe I should take a research stab.
Okay.
What should
What
I
do you
roll?
want to research?
Maybe if I can figure out more about the company, like maybe what their type of investigations or work is on.
The Olympian Advances?
Yeah.
Okay, so you learn that Olympian is a privately held corporation with extensive ties to the U.S. military and to fellow USAF contractors like Boeing and Lockheed Martin. It is a subsidiary of a much larger and much more secretive company called March Technologies Incorporated, which seems to mainly deal in computers and flight navigation. What's your intelligence?
15.
Okay, so you find that Olympian's founder, chairman, and majority shareholder is Curtis Schenck, a 74-year-old retired U.S. Air Force Lieutenant General. Schenck is best known for being one of the most highly decorated fighter pilots of the Vietnam era. His postings between 1980 and 2004 are all classified and highly restricted. You want to keep trying to dig up more info?
Yeah.
Okay, make a military science, bureaucracy, or accounting test.
Turns out they're all bad. Let's
I
do.
thought you would have at least had bureaucracy.
I
No.
I
mean,
have bureaucracy.
I told you, Jeremy, before, I had no idea what I was doing when I filled this in. So
Okay.
I'm gonna do
So-
accounting. I'm real bad
okay.
at accounting.
Alright, yeah,
As-
give yourself a check mark.
That's an 85% out of 10.
So you start digging around, and you get a phone call
On which phone?
on your phone.
Who's it from?
It is a unknown number.
Okay, I pick it up.
Knock
Hello?
it off. It's Eve Carpenter on the other side. Now, immediately, that comes from the top, and then she hangs up.
And she said, "Knock it off." Is that what she said?
Yes, knock it off.
So she wants me to knock somebody off.
No.
Someone with the acronym IT.
No.
Ooh, knock IT off? I mean, there's an
No.
IT group here, right? So maybe
Oh.
she needs them all dead. Let me see.
So what's Esme
Ooh,
doing?
is she
for this last-
Takagawa IT? That's also
Of
a
course
person
he
on
found
here.
one. Oh my goodness.
There's two possible people, though. There's Ishi
Alright.
Takagawa as an IT, and there's also the person in IT, Jingfei Sang. So one of them is going to have to die, I guess. That must be what that was about.
Alright, I don't know. I guess I'll practice my cover story? Is that an option?
Yeah, you can do that. So you will also get a plus 20 on your next roll that uses your false ID. Okay.
How did she
So
know that I was looking into stuff?
They have hacked your computer.
Hack my computer. Hack stores, the computer stores.
hey everyone, it's Jeremy. Thanks for coming and checking out our new episode. Always appreciate the listens that we've been getting week after week. So thank y'all very much for spreading the word and talking about us. And just coming back and listening. That's why we're doing what we're doing. We're having a lot of fun playing together, but it's cool to see everyone who's enjoying it too. If you like what you're doing, we do still have other stuff out there. John's got his website at jonathankush.com, where you can read his research and film essays. Tabitha's got her store on Etsy, Quiet Nova, up there. And I've got my novel on Amazon. You can check out links to all of those in the episode's description if you're interested. And we'd really appreciate it if you went and take a look at it. I want to give a shout out to my people at Art Dream who made the awesome game we've been playing, and Ketsa who made the intro and outro song Mission Ready. Don't forget that you can reach us at membersofksl@gmail.com or tweet at us. We're members of KSL on Twitter. That's everything I've got for today. I'll let you get back to the episode, and we'll be seeing you.
So, pulls up to the main building, flash our badges, we get in.
Well, okay, you're jumping ahead.
No,
So-
I'm not done yet. And then I want to shoot everybody. And then we leave. That's it, right? That's all we gotta do?
So, the Olympian Hollow Beam Array sits by itself in the heart of a 16-acre woodland park on semi-rural county land outside the nearest city limits. An unlabeled driveway leads into the woods past a sign that says authorized personnel only. Beyond the first warning sign, the road winds back and forth through the woods for about 100 meters until it stops at a stout, solid steel gate. The gate, too, is unlabeled, but for another authorized personnel only sign. On either side of the gate, a thick concrete wall stretches out into the woods. You can tell from the array grounds picture that Esme was able to find, it surrounds the 8 acres of the facility proper. An external security hut stands outside the concrete wall next to the great gate. As you pull up, a professional-looking guard steps out of the gatehouse. He's wearing the khaki uniform and tan Stetson hat of the Breckenridge Corporation. He is a fit Hispanic man in his 40s. He comes out and says, hello, can I have ID?
I'm gonna let the Inspector Huo take the lead here.
So, yeah, she rolls the van's window down and passes over her DOE badge. The security guard looks inside and says, and I'm gonna need your IDs as well.
I pass mine over.
I also pass mine over.
And then I pull out my gun and I shoot him in the head. No, I don't do that.
Okay. Yeah, so he takes the IDs and goes back into the gatehouse. Y'all can make alertness checks.
Nope, I am asleep.
Alert.
Give yourself a check mark.
I'm also not a very alert person.
Go ahead and give yourself both check marks.
Alright.
That's weird.
So what? So now what?
After a few minutes, the guard comes back and passes the IDs to Inspector Ron and says, okay, well, you've been cleared the array, and he opens the gate.
Alright. I don't see any need to shoot him now, so I think onward we go.
I think we should head to the main building first. What do you
Seems
think?
good. Do we want to park in the parking lot or drive into the main building?
Well, beyond the gate, a short drive through the woods leads to the wide clearing in the array itself. And you can see that the array is a cluster of plain concrete buildings and an intersecting set of 20-meter long tubes. I'm sorry, 20-meter long tubes. There are not 20 tubes. The road from the gate ends at a small gravel parking lot outside the largest building. There are security cameras everywhere.
Okay.
So there is the one main building. There is an attached storage building with a workshop. If you're looking at the array grounds map, the atrium there is a long concrete hut. There is a 20-meter long tube, a meter thick, that leads from the atrium to a smaller concrete hut, and a pair of 20-meter long tubes, a meter thick, that lead from that center hut to the terminal hut.
You're talking about the T-shaped structure over there on the right.
Yeah, the T-shaped structure, correct.
What distinguishes the atrium from the terminals?
From the outside, they all look pretty much the same.
Okay,
You would have to, go to them and get inside to see what makes them different.
gotcha.
When you pull up into the parking lot, another security guard dressed in the Breckenridge fashion comes out of the hut here.
Security hut sounds like one of those places you would buy cameras for your house in the mall,
Yeah.
right?
She has a name badge on that says simply Henson, and she says, hello, may I see your ID?
Sure. Here's my ID.
So she checks your ID and says, and takes it back into the security hut. And when she comes out, she gives it back to you and says, all right, yeah, you're cleared to go inside.
Stop
Okay.
it.
I'm gonna hang out by the door while I wait for my compatriots.
Alright, I'm going to hand over mine as well.
She clears all of your IDs, and you're all able to go inside.
I want to talk to the security guard for a quick sec.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Hey, so we're here to do an inspection. Did you guys just get up and running today?
I'm not really allowed to talk about that unless you want to talk with Dr. Campbell.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll talk to Dr. Campbell later on. You had any issues or with the management or you being treated okay here?
Yeah, Breckenridge treats me well, but you're not here about Breckenridge.
Well, I mean, it's all part of the inspection. It's both facility and sort of, operations. And you are a key part of operations here. I just wanted to see how you're doing.
Yeah, she kind of crosses her arms and just says, well, we're here to do a job, and we do the job.
Any symptoms of radiation poisoning?
She says, well, I mean, there was that power surge.
Oh,
And
yeah?
Did that give you any symptoms of radiation poisoning?
She kind of looks at you and says, there's nothing radioactive here.
Okay, we'll go with that. And how are you feeling overall health-wise?
She just kind of sighs and says, I'm not really here to talk to you about my personal health.
No? You don't think so?
Around what time would you say the power surge happened?
That was around 4.
4 o'clock today?
Yeah, it was at the end of your time with Carpenter, and y'all got driving around 4 o'clock.
And since that time, have you experienced any feelings of fatigue, nausea, headache, sudden hair growth, anything like that?
Or hair loss? Bleeding?
Or hair loss. Bleeding.
Can you
lack
see your
of vision,
skeleton?
Glowing. Retinal detachment.
Have you miscarried today? Is she answering any of these questions, Jeremy?
No, she's not. She just says, you're here to talk to Dr. Campbell, right?
Yeah, but we're talking to you right now, lady. And you're being very evasive.
Being very cagey.
So tell
Would you
me,
say that is typical for your personality, or is that new?
She just walks over near the entrance of the building and says, you're cleared to go inside.
well, you clearly want us to get out of your hair, which you haven't told us yet is falling out or not. So
Does it look like my hair is falling out?
Yeah, I
It-
can't
Is
really
your hair
tell.
growing?
Readers,
Can't really-
their hair is not falling out.
All right, I'm gonna walk in the main door here. So I'm in the main entry, which apparently has a couple of couches in it. Seems pretty swank.
Very swank.
All right.
Yeah. Are these like IKEA? Is this like IKEA furniture, Jeremy? Or is it like Nordstrom or like White Market or other furniture company names, which I know none of? Paint me a picture, Jeremy. If it was a band, would it be Nine Inch Nails?
What?
No, it would not be. It would be...
They bought all of this furniture from Office Max, and it shows.
Oh, we probably should have decided if we were bringing our guns in with us, right?
Are you?
I mean, I'm carrying my gear bags.
I would assume that I've got my gun on me, but I guess we never went through like a metal detector or anything. So
Yeah,
I
they just
guess
took
no
our
one
IDs.
could know. It's possible that no one knows.
Yeah, there's not a metal detector here, no. So here in the front room, you meet Dr. Campbell.
Is that the lady there?
Yeah, she is a gray-haired African-American woman, stick-thin and steely, the director of the Olympian Holobeam Array. And she says, welcome inspectors to the Holobeam Array. I must confess that we weren't expecting an inspection today, but if there's anything that I or our staff can help you with, just let us know. And laying on the couch over here in the corner, you see a elderly Japanese man asleep on the couch.
Is he alive?
He is asleep, which insinuates that he is alive.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to this gentleman here?
He's tall, fit, with white hair and beard.
I'm asking the conscious person what happened to him. Why is he not conscious?
That's Dr. Takegawa. He was in the atrium when the power surge struck and was feeling a little woozy afterwards, so he's been resting since then.
I'm gonna pull out my Geiger counter. Is he radioactive?
He is not radioactive, no. Dr. Campbell, raises an eyebrow when she sees you pull that out and says, there's nothing radioactive at this facility here. Why do you have a...
I pull mine out and I just say, oh, we always have one. Always got to be testing. That's our motto at the DOE.
Always gotta be tested.
I understand. Okay.
Just checking. Just making absolutely 150,000% sure. That's fine.
We get points every time we test something, so she's just trying to get up to the next level, really.
I get a free water bottle.
So you mentioned something about a power surge. What was that like?
I assume that there was just an issue at the energy company. I'm not really quite sure what the cause was of it, but everything checked out here.
So what happened when you experienced this power surge?
We had a brief loss in power, but then the generator kicked back on, and we were able to restore functionality.
Was any of the equipment here damaged?
No, luckily nothing was damaged. We have redundancy after redundancy to ensure that this highly valuable equipment is protected. And she just laughs a little bit when she says that.
What kind of equipment?
It's this fascinating, uniquely powerful technology that is able to, in real time, interpret the results from the experiments that we do here, so that we don't have to wait weeks. We can just watch the progress of data collection as it happens and see the computer's interpretations in real time.
And what manner of experiments precisely?
The lasers in the atrium are built to detect changes in space-time that may indicate that space itself is, in a sense, illusory, a projection in 3 dimensions of an underlying 2-dimensional reality. So the computer analyzes the data gathered by the lasers and presents it as information comprehensibly. It does all of the heavy lifting. And it's so smart that you can simply ask it questions and get meaningful answers.
Jeremy, I've got a DM question here.
Yes.
So as someone who knows a little bit, but not much about some of the actual science in this area, should we just assume that this is fine, or should we critique it on its face?
What do you mean?
I mean, it doesn't make any damn sense. But I don't know if that's just because it doesn't. If it doesn't, and that's just because it's a science fiction element of the story, or is it something that we should interrogate?
So, I mean, you could interrogate more if you want to understand more.
Okay. So, Miss Campbell, what is your hope that you all will find? What are the implications of the research you're doing here?
What we're trying to do is we're trying to just delve into and get a deeper understanding of reality itself. There is a strange theory in physics called the holographic principle. It's the idea that the 3-dimensional universe is a sort of holographic reflection of the 2-dimensional surface of reality of the cosmological horizon. That space and matter are merely illusory projections from the boundaries of the universe. We have attempted in the past to find physical evidence, but those have failed. But this time we're using this new technology to try to find evidence for this particular theory.
Okay, I mean, but doesn't the discovery of gravitational waves have huge implications for whether or not this this particular theory has any foundation?
Well, I mean, it does, and we're taking those discoveries into account as well.
Okay, right. You are aware of what gravitational waves are, right, Miss Campbell?
Yes, they were discovered when the 2 black holes revolved around each other and consumed each other.
Yes, in a facility that looks very similar to the one that we're currently sitting in. So in that case, they were looking at lasers and the time it takes to for the lasers to return and all this other stuff. And it sounds like you guys are trying to do something similar to try and identify this holographic projection. Is that...
If you're more interested in the science, then I'm certain that our researcher, Dr. Campbell or Dr. Black, would be more than happy to get into the
Isn't your name
details.
Dr. Campbell?
I'm sorry, did I say Dr. Campbell? Dr. Black or Dr. Klinger would be happy to get into that with you, but
All right.
there.
Well, have you had
do
any
understand
other?
that we're running the experiments right now, and that we're getting fascinating results that we want to that we're trying to extrapolate on. So.
Well, that is quite good for you and your organization. Have you had any other incidents besides the power surge?
See, maybe 10, 11 o'clock this morning.
I mean, well, 10 o'clock is when we finally powered up our experiments, so... But, no, I don't think that we've had any, any issues since then.
No flickering lights, unexplained screaming, things of that nature?
No. We've been just reviewing our data for several hours.
Alright.
And I'm going to show her the picture of the organization chart and say, are these the only employees who are here today, the ones listed here?
Yes, that's everyone here. Joe and Herbert and Maria are off today, but everyone else is here.
Joe, Herbert, and Maria. So we saw Henry when we came in and Karen here outside the main building, is that right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay. And are they armed? I don't actually ask that.
Did we notice if they were armed?
Yeah, you definitely noticed that they were armed.
Are they suspiciously armed or just security level armed?
They are security level armed.
So just like a sidearm and a taser or something like that?
They have a small pistol and a nightstick.
Alright.
What else do y'all want to talk to her about?
I was going to ask her about Takagawa. So, how long has he been resting?
A couple hours now.
Have you had him looked at? Do you have anyone with medical training? Did you think about taking him to the hospital?
No, he's fine. He just needed a little rest. It was just stress, and he's fine.
But you said it was related to the power surge.
I think he just was feeling a little woozy. I mean, we followed protocols. He's fine.
Well, my associate here is a trained medical professional. If you wouldn't mind her,
by all means, go right ahead.
If you want to take a look at him, Esme, I don't know if you would want to, but
I'm gonna slap on some blue gloves and give him a very unnecessarily thorough examination.
Okay, we'll make a first aid roll.
40 against a 62, so you pass.
There you go. So you find that he seems healthy and shows no sign of concussion or neurological damage. But he's also not asleep. There's none of sleep's deep breathing or rapid eye movement. He's just seems to be remaining unconscious.
Ooh, that is super bad for your brain, though.
Yeah, well, I guess I wouldn't know this unless Esme told me anything. So.
Alright, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna say, okay, so, he's not asleep. He's unconscious, which is specifically different, and he should probably go see a doctor.
No, he'll be fine. He just needs some rest.
Are you a doctor?
Are you?
Yes.
I thought you were Department of Energy.
I can't be both? When did that become a law?
Yeah, it does seem a little weird that she seems not particularly concerned about that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. He just needs some time to rest.
No.
Please let me introduce you to the rest of our staff, though. Or if
I would like for you to call an ambulance for this gentleman.
So I'm going to pull Esme aside and say, I definitely think we should get this guy help. But, obviously she's being cagey. But maybe if I talk to some of the other people, then they'll give us a sense of what caused him to be unconscious. I mean, it's possible it's something that we can't fix. And if we get an ambulance to show up here and it turns out that he's got a demon in him or whatever, then, that's a problem as well. So maybe we should collect a little bit more information.
I'm uncomfortable with that.
Well, I mean, you can
This
stay
could
with
be
him.
severe brain damage.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't stay with him and you shouldn't still be advocating for him getting help, but maybe I should go and see if I can get some better information.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Sure, Miss Campbell. Why don't you lead the way to introduce us to some other people? I'm not going to point out that Esme is going to stay behind.
A young man walks into the room, and she says, Evan, just in time. Please, show these agents around to help them finish their inspection person so they can leave quickly.
Hello, Evan. My name is Cindy. How are you today?
He is 42 years old, a wiry Caucasian man with nervous eyes. He kind of looks down at Dr. Takegawa, and then he looks back up at you guys and says, hello. I'm Evan Kozak. I'm the junior engineer here. How can I help you?
We're here from the Department of Energy. We're here for an inspection, so we'd like to inspect. Also, we had heard that you guys had a energy surge earlier, so hoping that we can, maybe identify the cause of that, or if there was any issues with the facility related to that.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I'd be happy to show you around and help you get bearings. I'll show you around. So,
what does Inspector Hui have to say to that, Jeremy?
She's just been kind of listening this time and, nodding her head. She seems pretty concerned about the Dr. Takegawa as well, but is following y'all's lead as far as what needs to be done. She doesn't really have anything to add at this moment.
Okay. Lead on, Evan. It's 5:30, so we're trying to put up.
Yeah, I want to get a clock going.
Is time going to reset or something? It's kind of like Majora's Mask?
Yeah, exactly. You figured it out. You figured out my time puzzle. There. Nice big clock. That way y'all know exactly what time it is. It's about 5:30 now. So yeah, Evan will lead the way. He will say, okay, so yeah, what are you here to inspect again?
Everything.
Okay. Well, let's start this way. So, and he'll lead you out this door to the north where you have this long hallway down, and he'll point down the hallway. That is the workshop. That's where we go to work on different things. If there's any maintenance that we need to do, we can pull the machinery and work on it. Luckily, we haven't had to do that yet, but we're prepared in case there is any sort of issue with the lasers inside the atrium. There's a couple of portable clean rooms that we have there because the buildings with the lasers are very, very sensitive. So anytime we need to go inside those buildings, you want to be suited up and attach the clean room for at least an hour or so before going inside the array. And then he'll say, okay, and then this way is my and Takegawa's office.
I point to the closet here and I say, what's in here?
Oh, that's a closet. Just a little, sort of mud room for if you're going in and out that way. We just keep various supplies inside there.
Okay. And you said this here is your office?
Yeah, this is mine, Takegawa's office.
How's he doing, by the way? You look like he's a little bit under the weather.
Yeah, we had that power surge earlier. We were both inside the atrium when that happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I found them inside there. He came around, but I couldn't really understand what he was trying to tell me, and then I think he just had a little stress and just needed a little break. So you were both in the atrium together when the surge happened? I wasn't in the atrium. I just found him after the power surge.
And he was conscious then?
Well, no, he was taking a nap. But when I woke him up, he just said, I couldn't really understand what he was trying to say. But I brought him here, and he's just resting. He'll be fine.
Oh, okay. I totally believe you. Were you in clean rooms? Clean suits then?
Yeah, he was tinkering, trying to fine-tune some of the equipment inside the atriums.
Onward and upward, my friend. You were very believable, Mr. Evans.
So this is...
the bathroom?
Well, yes, that's the bathroom, but then we also have Dr. Klinger and Dr. Black's office right here. They're the researchers for this particular project. They did a lot of the theory behind this particular experiment. So, and you look inside, and there is a pudgy white man with salt and pepper beard and thinning hair, Dr. Philip Black. And he says, "Oh, hello, how are you doing?"
Hello,
He stands up from his desk where he's been poring over some printouts. He comes out and he walks into the hall and he sees Esme's. Have you just stayed there with Takugawa?
I called an ambulance.
So yeah, he walks out, and when he turns the corner and sees you there, Cindy, he kind of like startles a little bit. I'm sorry. Just some weird deja vu. I'm Dr. Black.
What?
Hi, Dr. Black. This is Inspector Hua.
Hello.
No, keep going, Jeremy.
Go ahead.
That's all they have for each other. Yes, can I help you?
Well, we're doing an inspection, checking in on all the equipment, as well as, all of your working conditions. So, how long have you been here?
Well, I've been with this facility since construction began, really. We've just been tweaking everything, making sure everything's good to go, and we're excited to finally get the project up and running and start getting results. So.
Mm-hmm. So when do you expect to be able to have everything up and running?
Oh, well, everything's already up and running. We turned it on this morning.
And have you started seeing results come in?
He starts sweating a little bit when you say that, and he says, "Well, we've started getting some things. We're still interpreting them. It's fascinating."
Really? Do go on. Oh, I'm not there.
Yeah,
sorry.
do go on. Do go on, though.
It just seems we're starting to see some results that lead credence to our theory, but more testing is needed.
And your theory being the idea that space is 2 dimensions. Is that one?
Well, that's one way that you could interpret that theory.
That's what
yes.
Dr. Campbell seems to be saying.
Evan Kozak just kind of coughs a little bit and says, if you don't mind, I'd like to keep showing you around, and then perhaps you could come back and talk to Dr. Black later. That way I could continue with my work.
Well, I mean, Dr. Black, seemed to want to, not be interrupted more than once. I'm sure, right, Dr. Black. Well, it'll just take a few minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep showing Inspector Hua around. You can catch up if you'd like.
Okay.
He leads Inspector Hua down through that door. So, Dr. Black leads you into his research office and says, please sit down. And you see these notes that he has put on little sticky pads next to his desk where he is going over these printouts. Okay, you should be able to see them now.
All right, I see them. So,
okay.
First one says, beyond space, time or source, space-time, question. Flutes, drums, high energy, low energy, what does that really represent? And then the other one says D-E-E, patterns, awareness, question mark, and then something that's blacked out. So I see these notes.
Yeah, you see those. They're kind of posted up above his desk where he's been poring over these printouts. He sits down with you and says, we could immediately tell that we're seeing incredible results. Yeah, we hope that the computer would detect completely random jitters from the array of beams, holographic white noise, confirming the jittering of space. But instead, it almost immediately detected coherent, high-frequency, and low-frequency signals. The computer recorded those signals and made graphs of the patterns of data. It translated the patterns into sounds that were not white noise, but high-pitched tones and low pulses, like musical notes emerging from static. Those patterns, those tones, they're fascinating. Like, we looked for interference from the environment or damage to the system, but we didn't find anything. What does it mean? That's the part we'll probably try to figure out for years to come. But it's a glimpse at the underlying fabric of reality. It's like all we can think about.
Huh. So, and have you listened to these patterns?
Yes. Yeah. Our computer can, it's such an amazing computer. Like, you can just ask it to do something and it'll do it for you. So I asked it, hey, what do these tones sound like if we were to listen to them? And it made the sound for us.
And did everyone listen to it?
Yes, we all listened to it.
So your partner here in the science group, Dr. Klinger, is that right?
Yes.
Where is he right now?
She, I'm sure she's working hard somewhere.
Is she in this building?
Somewhere, I'm sure. I've been kind of focused on my own work.
What is it that she what part of this project is hers?
Well, she's the physicist and senior researcher. She and I kind of work together to come up with the mechanism of the experiment.
Where do you think would be a good place to look for her?
I would think that she'd be here in the office, but I don't know. Maybe she's in the kitchen eating something.
Eating something. That was a funny tone.
Yeah, it's dinner time. I'm starting to get kind of hungry myself,
I had some really great pizza earlier.
It was not great.
I mean, it would be great, except that, it had salmon on it. How does that make you feel?
See, maybe he has a pizza here. Let's see what sort of pizza he has.
Oh, God,
so
why?
He's eating at his desk.
It's a whole wheat pizza with red sauce. It's got smoked Gouda, white onions, and
great
salmon.
So far. Why does everything have salmon on it? All three pizzas had salmon. Something
you try to justify bad
broken
decisions with a light sprinkling of good.
Yep.
You prefer things that are tried and true, but you are also popular, pungent, and a health nut.
Pungent, I can believe about this guy. I'm trying to debate if I should kill him. What do you think, Esme? Because he's obviously infected with the unsound or whatever this music is.
I don't know.
Are there silencers for our guns, Jeremy?
There are not silencers.
Did I carry a pillow with me?
Did you?
I don't know.
Is there a pillow on?
Is there a pillow in this guy's office?
There is not. No.
All right. There's always couch cushions, but maybe I'll head over to the kitchen. So
do you want to talk to this guy anymore before you murder him, or?
No. I mean, I don't think I'm going to talk to him anymore right now, but I'm also not going to murder him right now. So
Esme, let's switch over to you. So you've been here in the main entry with Dr. Takagawa. Is there anything in particular you're trying to do, or?
I mean, I'm gonna see if he responds to anything at all. If there's any, does he flinch when I pinch his face really hard? Does he respond to sound at all? Anything? Any response?
There is no response at all.
Cool.
He is still just, it doesn't make sense. Like, shouting at him, pinching him, those sorts of things that, you can normally use to wake someone up. You, even get something out of your medical kit to try to bring him around. And even that doesn't seem to have any effect on him at all.
He's not unconscious. He's not asleep, rather. He's unconscious, which is very different and super bad. And he's been unconscious this whole time and has been since the power surge. This guy has some serious brain damage and might not wake up. So, I already called the ambulance as soon as they walked out of the room. I'm like, yeah, no, this guy needs medical attention. So I'm really just waiting for that to happen. I'm gonna get him sent on his way to a hospital.
I do want to remind you, I'm not going to stop you from calling the ambulance if that's what you want to do, but Carpenter did say to try to contain everything.
Okay, but she also said to save as many people as possible. And if he's got some brain shit happening, then he's not going to be saved by leaving him on a couch in an office. I mean, I'll just tell them that he had some kind of an episode, and now we can't wake him up. I'm not going to say, hey, we were pretty sure that they're ripping a hole in the fabric of space-time.
But
I'm not going to tell that.
He's got a demon in him. When he wakes up and the only thing he's speaking is Latin, then they're going to figure it out.
They won't speak Latin. They'll just assume he's having a seizure or something. No one speaks Latin anymore.
Et tu, Brute.
Okay, why don't you roll 3d6?
Who's doing this?
I am, apparently.
For what?
Who knows?
Okay.
Speaking of pizza.
So after 10 minutes, Karen Henson, the security guard, walks in and turns to you and says, there's an ambulance at the front gate.
Yep, let him in.
She goes back out to the hut and calls Henry, the other guard, and after another minute or two, a couple paramedics come in and they say, what's going on here?
I'm not sure. This gentleman had some kind of an episode and we can't wake him up, and he's not responding to any physical stimuli at all.
They go through all of the
Questions,
general interview questions that they have, and then they'll...
So they give him Narcan?
I mean, as a precaution, probably.
What's Narcan?
It's the
nasal spray that prevents you from getting an overdose.
Yeah.
It pulls you out of an overdose. I assume it won't do anything to this guy, but
probably not. But
yeah, is it a stimulant?
Well, what it does is it resets your neurotransmitters in your brain. So if there's some sort of brain disorder that led to him going into this, it might have an effect on his conscious state.
Okay. Yeah, no, that doesn't have any impact on him. They strap him to the stretcher and roll him out.
Alright, I'm going to go out into the hallway and go to the workshop, I guess. Investigate that.
The workshop has the same sorts of things that Evan described to everyone else. There's the 2 portable clean rooms, as well as some workbenches and some tools with which one could work on delicate machinery. You're not finding anything strange or untoward in there.
Oh, can I get a check mark for that? I tried to
no,
search.
No, because I didn't ask you to roll it.
Well, that's not fair.
Esme rolled a search test. 93 versus 42.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, but I still feel like I should get something. Yeah. Anyways, there's nothing in here, apparently. So I kind of heard Cindy, because I assume they didn't shut a door after them, going off and interviewing other people. So I'm going to assume that she's doing that still, and I'm going to go outside and see if I can inspect the array itself, maybe.
Are you wanting to check out the atrium or the different splitters and all of that?
I'll look at the atrium first.
Okay, so it is a concrete building about 4 meters wide and 20 meters long and 3 meters high. Did y'all see the new things that I put in Roll20 under the
standing orders,
journal,
objection rules, that type of stuff?
Yeah, I just figured that those might be useful for you guys to have.
We will probably never read these, thank you.
Well, it's there for you if you want it.
Is this going to be one of those, it's optional for you to read it, but you're going to need it in a future game things, Jeremy?
So it's like how the game works, so if you don't care how the game you're playing works, you don't have to read it. The standing orders are just like good rules of thumb for going through the different investigations. But again, you can just do whatever you want because that's what y'all been doing.
I mean,
is that disappointment in your voice, Jeremy?
Of all people to be upset by other people not playing by the rules, Jeremy.
I mean, those aren't rules. The standing orders are not rules.
Right.
Okay, was there anything that y'all wanted to follow up on from last time?
I have one thing that I'd like to follow up on.
Yes.
Do you know where my laptop charger is?
I'm looking at it. Yeah, let me bring that to you. You might need that.
I just realized this is not plugged in, and it is too old for that. It will not last very long.
At a certain point, laptops, like all of us, will need to be connected to juice.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I too will eventually need to be plugged in all of the time, or I will die.